Your coach said you were basically out there playing with one arm. How were you feeling physically? And you did end up with 163 yards. How were you limited, if at all?
Yeah, dealing with this little shoulder. It's been going on for a little bit now, but we kind of figured out the formula to keep it, scotch taped in for, at least the game. But no, it held up well today. But yeah, felt good as far as, making plays and stuff. Tanner put me in, some great spots, put it right on me where it could just, makes it easy for me. So it's nice having a guy like that. But, as far as range of motion, strength, and everything is pretty good. So it was good enough, is what I like to say. It was enough for today. Or, not for a win, but for a decent performance. But obviously we want to win.
That's something you've been battling for a little bit through camp and all that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So when you take a big hit, or when you came down on it on the 1 yard line on that long one in the first half, you sort of take inventory and check and make sure everything's still in place?
Every time. I don't know if anybody's watching, but almost after every play, I'll go like this and see if the tape's still there, if it's still in place. You know what I'm saying? It's so yeah. It is what it is. I kind of just gotta go with it. But I really feel like when I do, I try to not think about it as much as possible. Obviously, when I think about that, I'm not thinking about the route or what I'm supposed to be doing in the play. So I try to not let it take away from anything.
How does it feel? It kind of seemed like you were Tanner's go-to guy in a lot of key situations. How does it feel to be that guy, have the trust of your quarterback to make those plays, have the trust of your head coach and play caller to kind of call those plays where you could be that guy?
That's everything. That's definitely, it means the world to me. Just that we've been able to build that bond, that chemistry, both with, like you said, the coaches and with Tanner. But yeah, it's not easy to do. It's repetition. It's hours and hours of practice, same play, same ball. And yeah, we made it work tonight, or made it work a little bit. But like I said, we need to come out with the win.
You didn't have
also here.
You didn't have the benefit that some of your teammates have of having played with Tanner last year. How have you and he been able to get on the same page and develop that chemistry so quickly?
Yeah, like I said, it's a lot of reps, a lot of hours, fall camp. If it's going before practice, staying after practice. I can remember, I don't know if it was this week or last week, but I dropped like a dig coming across the middle. So after practice, that was the first thing. We're both like, let's get one. You know what I'm saying? Let's get on the same page and get that figured out. So little things like that, and just building it over time. Works out.
Coach was saying that, with the emotions of the rivalry game, he thought you guys handled that side of it well. Just from your perspective, the emotions, the intensity of a game like this, how do you guys think you handled that?
On offense, I'll speak for the offense. I think we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit. Throughout the game, there were plays that could have been made, and we kind of let it go. As far as keeping the emotions in check, I felt we did a fairly good job of that. Not too many penalties, no stupid things after the whistle or anything like that. So I was happy, from that standpoint. But no, it was a fun atmosphere. A lot of people there, obviously, bad blood, this and that. But no, it was a good atmosphere. But I thought we did well handling it.
That question's for me too.
Go for it.
I would say, the support was great. The energy was good. The emotions were, everywhere. But it's about the small fundamentals that we had to do. It's about just talking to each other during the play, after the play, to stay consistent. And if anything goes wrong, next play.
Nelson, how big was it for the defense, especially the front, not just to get to the quarterback, but to get him down this time around?
We kind of made it a priority of ours because, he's a 1-2 look and then run. So it was, just everybody do their techniques and get back there as soon as we can just to help the DBs out because,
Your coach talked about the big plays that TCU had, like that 80-yard flip. From a defensive standpoint, are those more deflating than a consistent running game if a team's able to grind out yards on you?
I would say everybody runs to the ball. We try to. So during those plays, it depends how much yardage they get. But running the ball, I would say Elijah Chapman and everybody, they block the holes just to make sure everybody comes and gets there. And that usually lets a couple of people, DBs, catch their breath and leaves us efficient for the game.
Nelson, coming off of 2 losses, how do you defensively also bounce back in time for UCF next week? Mentally, physically?
I would say during fall camp, there were tough days, hot days, but it's all about just your mental state. Just leave this game behind and continue through practice, because if you let this game hit you, it'll hit you in the next game.
TCU's head coach and offensive coaches, at least, obviously know you guys from having been here last year, and their starting center knows you guys from having gone against you in practice every day last year. Did that give them an advantage, their familiarity with you and the rest of the defensive front?
They definitely got an advantage to knowing, because back then everybody got together. We knew each other personally, knew exactly how our techniques went down. So during the game, I'm sure they spread out the information on our weaknesses, and I'm sure they tried to attack those. But as we stay a unit, anybody will come free to make the play.
Anything else?
For either one of you, last week, Coach Lashley was talking about helping you guys respond to the loss at Maryland. Now you've got two of them, and you're going to Orlando to start the conference part of the season. What's the key to you guys regrouping and getting the result you want in Orlando next week?
Consistency, because practice, we do our best to do the small things right, because at the end of the day, it has a big impact. Small plays, tackling, angles. So just coming together and knowing that if our mental state is good, then at the end of the day, everything will come together.
I think you hit it on the head. I think it's just coming together, banding together as a team, not letting any of the outside noise or anything, kind of get into what we're doing here and come together, better than ever and keep going.